Have you ever met a man who changes the temperature of the room just by entering it? He doesn't shout. He doesn't wave his hands. He might not even look at you, but you feel him. You feel a sudden pressure in the air. The conversation dies down. Postures straighten. The energy shifts from chaotic to ordered. This is not magic. This is not vibes. This is biological dominance. We call it the heavy aura. Most men are weightless. They walk into a room and the atmosphere remains unchanged. They are like ghosts, transparent, easily ignored, easily interrupted. They crave attention, but they repel respect. They vibrate with anxiety, constantly scanning for approval, constantly trying to fit in. But the heavy man is different. He has gravity. He bends the social space around him. He does not try to fit into the room. The room adjusts to fit him. Niccolo Machiavelli called this quality maestà, majesty. He warned that a prince without majesty is just a target waiting to be overthrown. If you lack this aura, no amount of money or titles will save you. You will be disrespected by your subordinates. You will be overlooked by women. You will be tested by enemies. But if you possess it, you win the battle before you even draw your sword. People submit to your frame not because you forced them, but because they instinctively feel your weight. Today, we are going to dissect the anatomy of this aura. We are going to strip away the mystical nonsense and look at the raw psychology of presence. We will explore the 7 laws of heavy aura. These are behavioral shifts that hack the primal brain of everyone around you. Be warned. This is not about being nice. This is not about being the life of the party. This is about becoming a monument in a world of dust. If you are ready to stop being a ghost and start being a force of nature, listen closely. We are building your gravity. Law 1. The ocular dominance. The eyes are not just the window to the soul. They are the gun turrets of the mind. The first thing that kills your aura is scanning. Watch a prey animal, a deer or a gazelle. Their eyes are constantly darting, left, right, behind. They are scanning for threats. They are scanning for an escape. Now watch a predator, a lion or a wolf. Their eyes are locked. They do not scan. They focus. They are not looking for threats because they are the threat. When you enter a room and your eyes dart around, checking who is looking at you, checking the exits, checking your phone, you are signaling prey. You are broadcasting high cortisol. You are broadcasting fear. To build a heavy aura, you must master the dead gaze. When you look at someone, do not blink instantly. Hold the gaze for a fraction of a second longer than is comfortable. This creates a micro-tension. It signals that you are not afraid of the connection. You are evaluating them. You are the judge. Dante Alighieri described the great spirits in limbo as having eyes that were tarde e gravi, slow and grave. They did not look quickly. They turned their eyes like heavy stones. Slow down your ocular movement. When someone speaks to you, do not snap your head toward them. Turn slowly. Lock onto them. And then, do not let go until you decide to. This stillness of the eyes creates a vacuum. People will feel the weight of your attention. They will feel that being looked at by you is an event. Law 2. The glacial tempo. Speed is the enemy of authority. We live in a world that rushes. We rush to speak. We rush to eat. We rush to apologize. We think that moving fast makes us look busy and important. It does not. It makes us look anxious and subservient. Think about a king versus a messenger. The messenger runs. He is breathless. He is sweating. He is bound by the clock. The king sits. He moves slowly. He reaches for his goblet as if he has all the time in the world. Because he does. He owns the time. Machiavelli noted that power always appears to have an abundance of time. To have a heavy aura, you must artificially slow down your physical reality. Walk 20% slower than you think you should. When you reach for your phone, do it with deliberation. When you turn your head, do it smoothly. Jerky, twitchy movements are the sign of a nervous system in fight or flight mode. Smooth, fluid movements are the sign of a predator in control. This is called the glacial tempo. Like a glacier, you are slow, but you are unstoppable. You are crushing everything in your path with sheer mass. When you slow down, you force the world to wait for you. And psychologically, the person who waits is the person of lower status. By moving slowly, you are subconsciously telling everyone, I am in control of this environment. Nothing here threatens me enough to make me run. Test this today. When someone calls your name, do not whip your head around. Count to 1, then turn. That 1 second of delay establishes your sovereignty. Law 3, the voice of the abyss. Your voice is the primary instrument of your aura, but most men use it like a trumpet when it should be a cello. The mistake is trying to be loud. Loudness is not power. Loudness is compensation. A barking dog is annoying. A growling tiger is terrifying. The heavy aura requires you to lower your pitch and volume. Speak from the diaphragm, not the throat. But more importantly, you must master the descending inflection. When you ask a question, does your voice go up at the end? Are we going to the meeting? That is the voice of a child seeking approval. That is upspeak. It sounds unsure. The sovereign speaks with a downward inflection. We are going to the meeting. The voice goes down at the end. It sounds like a command, even if it is a statement. It sounds final. It sounds like a judge reading a verdict. This downward inflection signals that you are not asking for agreement. You are stating reality. And then, there is the pause. Weak men fear silence in conversation. They fill it with, and nervous laughter. The heavy man embraces the pause. He speaks. He stops. He looks at you. He is comfortable in the silence. He knows that in the silence, his words gain weight. They sink into the listener's mind. Do not rush to fill the void. Create the void, and let others fall into it. Law 4. The emotional fortress. Most men are open books. You can read their fear, their anger, and their joy on their faces instantly. They are reactive. If the waiter brings the wrong order, they look annoyed. If a girl smiles at them, they grin like idiots. They are puppets, and the world pulls their strings. Machiavelli taught that if your enemy knows what makes you angry, he owns you. He has a remote control to your nervous system. To have a heavy aura, you must practice non-reactivity. When bad news arrives, you do not flinch. When insulted, you do not frown. You become a cliff face. The waves of chaos crash against you, but the stone does not change its expression. It simply endures. This is not about having no emotions. It is about having a firewall between your emotions and your face. Imagine a poker player holding a royal flush. He looks bored. Now imagine him holding nothing. He looks exactly the same. This ambiguity creates power. When people cannot read your reaction, they get anxious. They start to project their own thoughts onto you. They wonder, what is he thinking? Does he know something I don't? Your silence becomes a canvas for their insecurity. A man who laughs at everything is seen as a fool. A man who rages at everything is seen as a child. But a man who watches everything with a calm, unreadable expression, he is seen as a king. Practice the flat face. When someone tells you a joke, smile slowly, not instantly. When someone attacks you, look at them with curiosity, not pain. You are signaling that your internal world is so heavy, so stable, that external events cannot shake it. You are the unmoved mover. Law 5. Territorial dominance. Look at a low-status man. He crosses his legs tightly. He folds his arms to protect his chest. He shrinks into his chair. He keeps his elbows glued to his ribs. He is physically apologizing for taking up space in the universe. He is trying to be invisible to avoid attack. The heavy man does the opposite. He expands. He opens his chest. He claims the armrests. He spreads his papers on the table. He is not aggressive, but he is expansive. He signals that he has the right to be here, that this territory belongs to him. There is a primitive rule in biomechanics. The predator is relaxed. The prey is tense. To project an aura of power, you must be the most physically comfortable person in the room. If you are in a meeting, lean back, open your posture, expose your torso. This signals that you do not fear an attack. When you stand, stand wide. Plant your feet firmly on the ground. Imagine roots growing from your boots into the concrete. You are not a leaf that can be blown away. You are an oak tree. If someone bumps into you, you do not move. They bounce off. Taking up space is a subconscious declaration of worth. You are saying, I am significant enough to occupy this reality. Observe the doorway effect. Weak men rush through doorways trying to get out of the way. The heavy man walks through the center of the doorframe at his own pace. He does not dodge. He assumes that the path will clear for him. And because he assumes it, it usually does. Space is a resource. The powerful consume it. The weak surrender it. Stop shrinking. Expand. Law 6. The economy of words. Inflation affects money, but it also affects words. The more you print, the less they are worth. The man who chatters constantly is bankrupting his own authority. He is like a beggar shaking a cup of pennies, hoping someone will listen. He interrupts. He repeats himself. He over-explains. He is terrified that if he stops talking, he will cease to exist. But the heavy man treats his words like gold coins. He spends them rarely. When you ask him a question, he does not give you a paragraph. He gives you a sentence. Sometimes just a word. Sometimes just a nod. This scarcity creates value. When a silent man finally speaks, people lean in. They stop their own conversations. They know that this resource is limited. Machiavelli advised that a prince should be secretive. By withholding information, you force others to come to you for answers. You become the oracle. If you want to increase your aura instantly, cut your word count in half. Before you speak, ask yourself, is this necessary? If the answer is no, kill the sentence. Let it die in your throat. Swallow it. The power you would have wasted on empty talk remains inside you, building pressure. Do not be the radio that plays in the background. Be the thunder that breaks the silence. Rare, sudden, and impossible to ignore. Law 7. The gravity well. Physics tells us that large objects have gravity. They do not chase smaller objects. Smaller objects fall towards them. Most men violate this law. They are chasers. They lean forward in conversations. They try to impress. They try to be liked. They project their energy outward, like a desperate beam of light. They are trying to catch people. But the heavy aura does not chase. It sits still. It pulls inward. It is a black hole of validation. You must reverse the flow of your energy. Instead of trying to reach out to others, imagine that you are sitting back, anchoring yourself in the earth. You are comfortable in your own skin. You do not need their reaction to feel whole. This creates a psychological vacuum. People are used to being chased. When you do not chase them, they get confused. Then they get curious. Then they start chasing you. They will try to win your approval because you are not giving it away for free. They will try to make you laugh because you are not smiling like a clown. This is the lean back technique. Physically and mentally, lean back. Let the space between you and them be a bridge that they have to cross. Stop trying to be the life of the party. The sun does not try to shine. It burns because it is a nuclear furnace. It doesn't care if you look at it or not. If you want people to revolve around you, you must stop revolving around them. Find your center, stay there, and let the world come to you. You now hold the keys to the heavy aura. But do not mistake these for acting tips. They are not a costume to be worn and discarded. They are a forge for your character. To fake this aura is dangerous. The world will test you. If you act like a king but feel like a pauper, the facade will crack, and the ridicule will be worse than the invisibility. True gravity comes from mass. In the physics of the human soul, mass is purpose. A man with a mission is heavier than a man who is drifting. You must know who you are. You must know what you are willing to die for. When you have this internal weight, the external behaviors, the slow gaze, the silence, happen automatically. You do not have to try to be heavy. A mountain does not try to be heavy. It just is. Your behaviors are simply the shadow cast by your internal reality. When you integrate these laws, the environment around you will shift. You will feel it. Some people will be intimidated. Weak friends will fall away. They will say you have changed. They will say you are cold. Let them go. You are shedding dead weight to gain true gravity. You are trading popularity for respect. Walk into the world tomorrow. Move slower. Speak less. Look deeper. Watch how the sea of chaos parts for you. You are no longer a ghost floating through life. You are the rock in the river. You are the silence in the noise. You are the heavy. If you are ready to carry this weight, write this in the comments. I am the storm. Subscribe. The weak chase, the strong attract. This is Virtulite. Follow virtue and knowledge.